3.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Rok Podcast.
Shema, how are you feeling, buddy? Today on the Rok Podcast, we have Kim Filkins. She's an acupuncturist from Three Moons Acupuncture, and she just did a procedure on our black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, Shema Fayetta. He had a procedure called cupping done, and right now he's laying on his stomach right in front of us all, falling asleep, with about 4... Are those glass, Kim?
Yes, they are.
Those are glass-like cups that are like suction to his back. And we're all looking at him still as he falls asleep. But he looks like he's in peace, so that's good. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We have with us today Kurt Licato sitting in the background. You'll hear him chime in.
Hey, guys.
He's our survival reflex training instructor. He's got a wealth of knowledge in the martial arts. We're happy to have you here, buddy.
Thanks.
And, of course, Lou doing all the background dirty work for us. He makes this all go well. So, welcome, Kim. What did you do to Lou yesterday?
What I did to Lou yesterday was a very brief demonstration of how acupuncture can help you and help anybody, really, especially if you're dealing with pain. That's what we focused on yesterday and used what we call a mirroring technique. So I actually went to the opposite side of the body with a distal body part to help. That's where I place the needles, and that then gets the what we call chi, which is energy. At least that's how it's translated in English. Its actual translation is air or breath, but somehow we've turned it into energy. And what the needles do is get that chi moving to help dislodge any blockages, which is what pain is in traditional Chinese medicine. So we put some needles opposite side distally to help get that circuit started, and then because he wasn't getting complete relief, we put one locally, and that completed the circuit and allowed the chi to flow freely.
And then
got rid of his pain.
Right.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Lou does not like needles. And we convinced him, we bribed him to actually go through this procedure yesterday. And we filmed it live.
Bribed.
So if you want to go to the Rok Podcast, did we do it on the Rok Podcast?
Yeah.
Lou? Okay, go to the Rok Podcast.
No, don't go there. Don't watch it.
It's awesome. You enjoyed it.
You did really good. You did really good. It's actually filmed on there. You can see the brief procedure done on Lou, and we were actually all amazed. The response that Lou gave was telling to me, because when you went on his elbow, and I'll try to describe this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
Lou went in there. He sat up on a massage table. Kim then went to his left elbow to treat him for his right knee pain. So you were talking, you went to the opposite side distally.
Right.
The left elbow, you put 2 pins in, right?
I think that's what I started with, correct?
I think it was 2 pins around the elbow area. And Lou said that some of the pain went away, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but not all.
Correct.
And she had him do a couple extensions with his leg. And since it didn't go all the way, she then put a pin in his right knee and had him extend again. And then this is what I was talking about that was real telling, is Lou looked at me and he was like, it's gone. He looked like he couldn't believe it.
Right.
So, and
I get that a lot.
I think you actually said, this is amazing. Wow.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, I wanted to get back into jiu-jitsu and go start rolling again. And I had jiu-jitsu today. No pain. It's still gone.
That is awesome. What a testimony. So if you were to rate your pain from 1 to 10, with 10 being the worst, What was your knee pain going into the treatment? I know it wasn't significant,
Right.
but still a nuisance.
Relaxed. When I was relaxed, it would. It wasn't too bad. It would be like at a 2. But I mean, when I would start doing any type of movements or activity, it would jump up to like 5, 6. Around there, about medium. I could deal with it, but it was there, so it was like annoying.
Right.
And then after I did the acupuncture, it disappeared. I thought it would come back when I woke up this morning, because that's when I'll usually feel it too. Is when I wake up. It was gone. So then I felt comfortable enough to come in and roll around and do some jiu-jitsu, and it's still fine.
And we did jiu-jitsu for how long this morning? About an hour?
Yeah.
We rolled for about an hour, and we actually went pretty decent. So we were in some pretty solid movement where we were rolling around. And how does your knee feel now?
Feels great.
No pain? Nothing?
No pain at all.
I almost feel like a preacher, those healers, when they go, and what do you feel now?
Well, I think that would go to Kim. Kim gets it.
Right. So that was Lou's procedure.
Right.
Okay. So now with Juma, he's asleep now. With Juma, explain what you did to him there.
So it's the same procedure that was used on Michael Phelps
Oh, wait,
in
hold
the.
on. We got a little delay. Hold on, I'll fix that for you.
Yeah, we're experiencing a delay.
Go ahead and try it again.
Okay.
There we
So it's the same procedure that was used on Michael Phelps in the Olympics this year. And it's a procedure called cupping. And what it does is basically creates negative pressure that is then applied to the muscles. It helps draw out any toxins in those muscles, like bad blood, used up oxygen, and then it pulls in oxygen-rich blood to those muscles to help them heal.
Okay, so the objective is to get blood to the injury.
Right.
And that's pretty common with just about any
Sure.
any type of injury. As far as fascia goes, is the cupping good for that as well?
Yes.
Or is there other procedures?
The best results are going to come when you combine acupuncture and cupping, but a lot of people, because they're afraid of needles or whatever the case is, I can get them in to do this before they'll come in for acupuncture. So if you can kind of get people to understand that they work in conjunction, then they seem to be a little more open to doing everything.
Oh, so you mean you put pins in as well while you're cupping?
Usually you'll put in the needles beforehand, let them sit for 30 minutes so they do their job, and then afterwards do the cupping.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, what is your story, Kim? How did you get here? How did you get to this?
It's a long story.
Well, let's see. What is your abbreviated story?
The abbreviated story is I had a bachelor's degree in Western medicine. I was a veterinary technician and got really burned out. Decided I wanted to do something with that bachelor's degree, and at the time I was also taking Wing Chun Kung Fu lessons. So learning
That's Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah. So learning Eastern philosophy, that got me interested in maybe parlaying that some other direction. And I was living in LA at the time, so looked into acupuncture, visited a couple schools, found one that I really liked, applied, got accepted, did my first 3 years of training and schooling there, and knew I didn't want to practice out there. My family was still in Indiana, so the goal all along was to bring it back to the Midwest. Found a school here locally in Racine, transferred, finished my last year of school there. In the process, met my now husband, and we got married, and 6 months later my mom passed away, so I'm here.
Now, you go through 3 years of schooling?
4.
4?
Yeah, it's a 4-year master's degree.
Wow. I was thinking more, well, what do chiropractors do? They're pretty intense
I think
too,
there's
right?
it's 4 if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Okay, so you have to know everything about,
We
physiology,
do,
the whole deal.
a full year of anat and physiology, so we learn muscles and all that stuff. And then we actually had to do biochemistry as well, so we learned the internal cell procedures.
Yeah, so, all right. The whole acupuncture thing it's not just for injuries, right?
Correct.
You're helping stress,
anxiety. Yeah.
Okay, so someone with high anxiety, which is prevalent now. I mean, it almost seems like 8 out of 10 people
Absolutely.
that I talk to. Oh, yeah, I got anxiety too. To what degree, I don't know. But how does that help? I mean, I know it all goes around that energy thing.
Right.
But if you could, in detail.
Okay.
If you can.
So basically, anytime there's anxiety or stress, it's creating blockages through those pathways that I was talking about yesterday, the meridians where the chi flows. And you want to be able to have nice free-flowing chi so that everything is balanced. Everything in traditional Chinese medicine is all about the balance of yin and yang.
Right.
And that's what the needles do, is no matter what point they're using, it's going to help balance whatever's out of balance. So if you've got pain, it's going to move that stagnation and undo that blockage. Sort of the same thing with stress and anxiety, but it can be manifested not necessarily by pain, but it can be a heaviness in the chest, or they can't sleep, they've got insomnia. So all of those things really come down to whether or not your energy is balanced and flowing properly.
Now, the meridians, are you talking about like organs? Is this like the major organs, or is this a certain space on the body?
So meridians are sort of ethereal, at least for right now. There are some studies showing that they have started to find these pathways that we call energetic meridians. And there's roughly 14 of them that run from head to toe, one straight down the middle, one along the spine, and the rest are kind of all over the place. But they're all associated with specific organs. So you've got the liver meridian, the kidney meridian.
Okay.
So if somebody comes in, say, with diabetes, we kind of already know where we want to attack it as far as treatment, as far as the meridians go, but we go much more in depth because we don't want to just get rid of the symptoms. We want to start at the root and really cure them from that level. And everybody's different. I'm not saying that people are going to be cured, but they're definitely going to notice that they feel better, they may have more energy, they sleep better, they're less stressed, whatever the case may be.
So someone with diabetes, the ones that are on insulin, have they been healed per se from this type of procedure?
We do not claim to heal anybody. That's just not something we do, because it's all going to depend on how involved that person is in taking control of their health.
Okay.
And, with something like cancer, they actually do a test and say, okay, the cancer's gone and we're not showing any sign of it, whatever. That's how they evaluate it. We can't necessarily do that with traditional Chinese medicine. We kind of have to depend on what the patient says. How are they feeling? What are their pain levels? Whatever the case is.
What's like your biggest testimony, if you will? What was a big story for you?
Probably my biggest one was a gentleman who came in dealing with addiction and is now running marathons.
What type of addiction? Are you able to say? Or?
Not really.
No? Okay.
It was a combination of things, but
Okay.
he's completely clean and sober, has been for quite a few months, and is running marathons and doing really, really well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially now he's taking care of his body.
Right.
So you provided that sort of let's get healthy approach through acupuncture.
Yeah.
Not just get rid of his addiction,
Right.
but tell him, hey, you need to live a different lifestyle. Now, what else do? You have the acupuncture, the cupping.
Yeah.
And I saw on your brochure, you had like 8 or 10 things on there.
So I cover all facets of traditional Chinese medicine. That includes cupping, gua sha, tui na, which is a type of massage.
Gua sha, tui na. It just
sounds like two girls.
yeah. It's just what's no gua sha. I know that's like scraping, right?
Right.
All right. Scraping is more intense.
Yes.
So I know you can leave like. It almost looks like you're bruised.
It is. It's doing the same thing as cupping, except instead of providing negative pressure like cupping, it's actually like a massage. So you're actually massaging deep into the tissues, and that's why it tends to bruise more.
Now, what do you use to do that?
Everybody's different. I actually have some tools over in my kit that are just, like little rectangular shaped, one of them shaped like a fish. A lot of people will use ceramic spoons.
Oh,
so you can,
really?
Yeah, you can use pretty much anything as long as it doesn't have a sharp edge.
Okay. And then you said gua sha tuina.
Tuina.
How do you say it?
Tuina.
Tuina. Tuina, gua sha tuina.
So,
go ahead.
Tuina actually translates into...
I got her.
Yeah, you did.
I got her.
Tuina actually translates into pulling. The translation from Chinese to English is push and pull, more or less.
Okay.
So it's a type of massage. It's not deep tissue. It's not necessarily relaxation. It's more of a therapeutic massage. So we do everything from pinching and pulling and manipulating the muscles to help release them.
Do you use any tools for that, or is
Usually
it
not.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's all handwork.
Okay. And after Tuina, what else do you do?
So cupping, gua sha, tuina,
See, that sounded really good. Cupping, gua sha, tuina.
Acupuncture, obviously. I also have a bachelor's degree in nutrition, so I do a lot of health coaching in that department.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Three Moons. That's where, that's the name of your company, and where is this located?
Right on Highway 50 in Kenosha.
Is it just off the freeway?
Just off the freeways, so
East or west?
You'd be heading south on 94, and then it's less than a mile east of I-94 on Highway 50.
Oh, very good. Why Three Moons? I know I asked you this when I first met you, and I said, save it, don't tell me. I'll ask you on the podcast.
So everything philosophy-wise in Chinese medicine is based on the number 3, 3, 6, 9, etc. So that was part of it. They believe a lot in the lunar calendar, which is moon. So put them together.
All right, 369 lunar calendar. What is this? Where the year of the dragon comes from and all that, or is that a different Asian exercise?
It's a different. It's Asian astrology.
I'm
That's
showing my
a little bit
ignorance.
different.
You guys can help me out a little bit.
There. Nothing new there.
I'm sitting.
All right, I've got a question for
Sure.
Kim. So, I've been training pretty hard for a tournament coming up, and
Right.
the last couple of days I've been feeling just kind of fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just from past experience, I would attribute that to my central nervous system just being overtaxed.
Sure.
What would you recommend, or what would you do for somebody like me who came in with that problem?
The best thing would just be relaxation techniques initially, see how you do with those, and then we would try and actually build up your chi, and so that fatigue goes away.
So would that be acupuncture, or would it be cupping, or both?
Most likely acupuncture.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes you can throw in an herbal formula as well that's going to help with that.
Okay, and like how long would it take before I would start feeling better?
You might notice something after the first treatment. Every person's different. Just like Lou got really good results yesterday, it may not necessarily be the same for every person. Some people react very well, very quickly. Others, it takes a little bit longer. And typically, the longer something's been there, the more chronic it is, the longer it's going to take for it to get better.
Okay.
It's just like losing weight. You can't go to the gym once and expect to look like The Rock.
Right.
Or me. Anyways, you're supposed to have a sound effect to that.
Mike, where are you at on that? I got a sound effect.
All right, for those of Kim's on, obviously on air. If you're listening live, and I see a few people are on live, if you have a question, Lou, what do they have to do? They just can they go to Spreaker.com?
Yes.
And they have to log in.
Yes. Make an account on.
Make an account, and you can chat with the producer here. Ask him or write your question down, and he'll field that to Kim. Acupuncture is very interesting. I know a lot of people, or at least this is what I think, a lot of people can shy away from it just because of the needles or the unknown.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why we have Kim on here, is to educate the people that don't know and hopefully come up with some answers and get them into a procedure that can help them. and get them more fit, have their injuries taken care of. And one of the big things that I got from you when we first talked was you use this on a preventative care.
Right.
You don't have to have an injury or be fatigued for a competition and prepare for that, but on a maintenance level, what's the type of protocol for that?
So typically most people come in and they do have a problem. Once we get that problem under control, whatever it is, then it becomes maintenance. You come in once a month, once every 2 months, however you feel you need it.
What if it was like for me, let's use an example. I have plenty of injuries, but let's say I did it and I heard this podcast and I'm like, well, I don't really have anything wrong with me, but Kim did say we could use this as preventative care. Let me see what this is all about.
So what I would do is stress buster. Well, that's what I call it. And it's less than 10 needles. They stay in place for 30 minutes, and you just get to chillax. The needles do the work for you.
And going back to what you said, it's creating those pathways for energy to be flowing through your body in balance.
Yep.
Or are you trying to achieve balance?
I think almost everybody is out of balance in some way.
Okay. So.
I even my patients that meditate for 2 hours a day, they still have problems. So it's really hard in Western society for us to be in balance. So I think, in my opinion, this can help anybody and everybody if they can get past the either fear or not knowing what it can do.
What about like my brother? He's had a surgery on his neck. And Mike, what was the level of surgery on your neck, if you can say? I don't know if you're able to talk about all this. I have no idea.
Yeah. C4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7.
Okay.
So he's had a fusion. That's 4 levels, basically. Three
vertebrae.
Right. Yeah. So he comes in. He says, "Yeah, I have no more pain, but maybe my range of motion, obviously, is compromised because of the surgery." Is there anything you can do for that?
Yeah. In a situation like that where it's been fused, it's going to take a little bit longer, obviously, because they've kind of created a blockage. Man-made blockage, but I would use both acupuncture and cupping in that area to help loosen everything up and allow for better range of motion.
So for his case, how many treatments would you be looking at for him?
That's the hard part, and people ask me that all the time. How many treatments is this going to take? And like I said before, everybody's different. So what I kind of say is if it's been there longer than 6 months, you should expect 10 to 12 treatments before you start noticing a huge difference. You may notice something right away, but if you really want to get to the core of it, we need to hit it hard.
Yeah.
Hey, Kim, I have a question.
Sure.
Actually, it's kind of a 2-part question. Will this help with like chronic injuries like arthritis?
Absolutely.
And then my second question, if there's an acute injury, should you wait a while, like if there's swelling or something like that?
No, as a matter of fact, you should probably get in as quickly as possible if there's an acute injury, because it's going to help the healing process. It's going to bring blood flow and everything to that area to help bring down the swelling. And there are specific points that do bring down swelling, boost immunity, and help the body fight off any injury. Chronic things like arthritis, they're actually doing studies, and the studies are showing that treatment of things like arthritis, acupuncture is actually better than opioids. So,
okay. Because I have blown my knee out 3 times, and it's bone on bone. It's been bone on bone for many years, so I have arthritis in that knee. So you're saying this could help with some of that pain?
You bet.
And there's also just chronically a lot of swelling in that knee.
Right.
Would it help reduce swelling, do you think? Or?
Yeah, it does bring down swelling and inflammation.
Does it heal stupid? Because Jeff is.
Does it heal?
I'm swatting flies while they're talking.
I wish there were a point for that.
Oh yeah,
Late breaking. Actually, it's not. Has any one of you ever been in a hurricane?
No. My girlfriend has.
Really?
Yeah.
I have two. And Hurricane Hermine.
Hermie.
Hermie.
Do you know where Hermie comes from?
No.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, yeah.
The clay
Hermie.
features.
Yeah?
That's one of my favorite Christmas. Anyways,
Hermie the dentist?
I don't give a crap about Hermie. Let's go.
You brought it up.
I know.
All right, anyways.
Hermie.
This was the first hurricane since 2005
Curdy.
in Florida.
How about Kurt E?
Kurt E.
Curdy the Hurricane.
I'm a hurricane. Been in a
That
few
doesn't-
relationships that's been like
Yeah, why do they name them certain names?
They go by alphabet.
Okay.
Yeah, doesn't it alternate male and female names?
Yeah,
or
I
something
believe
like
so.
Ah.
I hope so. I wonder if they alternate male and male.
Well,
I wonder if there's a transgender thing now with hurricanes.
there should be. Everything is supposed to be politically correct now.
Give me the damn news.
So, the next hurricane is going to be called Caitlyn Jenner Hurricane.
Hermie Jenner.
All right. That's the news.
Are you serious?
There was a hurricane in Florida.
That's the news for real?
Well, didn't you know that there was a hurricane?
I think I heard about it.
Yeah, see? That's why I'm updating you on the news.
What happened? Category?
Category hurricane.
Oh, Jesus.
It's been downgraded. It's now a tropical storm.
Now a tropical storm. That's correct. But I was going to give my little input on my hurricane that I was in. That's why I was hoping one of you would have been in a hurricane.
Well, let's hear your story.
Okay, here it comes. Once upon a time, there was a soldier that was jumping out of airplanes when Hurricane Ivan was coming through Florida. And we were making jumps. And we were trying to get jumps in before the storm hit us. And
Who jumped in the hurricane?
our unit.
Are you serious?
Well, I jumped. My team jumped, and we made it fine. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the gust of God came through, and the next squad jumps, and you see them blow away
Jeez.
at an extreme pace. They ended up in trees and water, and
Oh, so you guys actually landed on land.
we did. But then the other guys were landing in trees and water, and it turned out bad.
So were
Needless
they
to
okay?
say, some guys got hurt.
Oh, okay.
But needless to say, we got out of there fast.
Yeah, I'm almost classifying that as dumb.
No one said soldiers are smart.
They just do what they're
We
told.
do what we're told.
Right.
We have heart. We think with our hearts.
Yeah, that's my brother in the military. His son is leaving for the Army, right?
Yes, he leaves on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Hey.
And in the Army,
Yep.
infantry?
No, he's going to be a field artillery specialist.
So he's getting into tanks?
He will get into tanks when he fires off like missiles and whatnot. He has a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
He'll be, if he's in a tank, more than likely he'll be working on computers, sending off these missiles by computer.
He's a computer guru anyway.
Yeah, he's pretty
so
good with that
he'll
stuff.
like that. Well, that's my nephew going off to the military. So shout out to you, Michael,
Yeah,
for
buddy.
serving our country.
Thank you.
I don't really want him to go, but he's doing a good thing.
I do.
He wants him to go.
It'll be good for him.
All right. You know what? I have to go back to Colin.
I was going to bring that up. That was going to be the news.
Did you see he donated $1 million?
I did. And the other thing he did was another guy from the Seahawks also sat during the national anthem.
It wasn't Sherman, was it?
No. It was his last name is Lane. But
Oh, he's trying to create something here
right.
now.
But the problem is that there's there's still an uproar because during the month of September is Salute to Service.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Of all the times you want to stand up and put your hand on your heart,
Right.
all the NFL teams wear the green, the camouflage.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. They make
Yep.
those special.
Yep. And it all says Salute to Service. It's a whole big thing, kind of like October will be Breast Cancer Month,
Right.
where they wear the pink.
I wonder if anybody would sit that out. Can you imagine?
Right.
It's, I mean, you're still making a stance.
Yep.
Oh, boy. That would be rotten.
Yeah, that's our boy Colin Kaepernick.
For all our 49.8 million listeners?
No, we hit 50 million yesterday. So
So,
So-
we're gonna create a tidal wave of anti-Kaepernick haters, or we'll just call them haters. Capper haters.
hey, Juma's sitting next to me. How was the cups? The Dixie cups.
I feel great, my friend.
All right.
Oh, he sounds
I
like he
took
just
a-
got up from a
relaxed.
nap.
Well, wait a minute. It sounds like you're stoned. So, were you smoking and cupping?
Yep, yep, yep.
All right, so Kim, back
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
Juma, he's now finished with the procedure.
Right.
Okay, so what do you tell him when he's done?
Drink lots of water, stay hydrated. Would not recommend a shower for at least an hour, and that's not anything specific. It's just giving the body time to adjust.
God, please don't say that. I'm sitting next to Juma.
Come on, bro. I take a shower at least twice a day. At least.
He's
I thought
talking
you
real
were going to
slow.
say twice a month.
Come on.
So no shower for at least an hour. Wow, that's weird. Is it because of the oils you put on them?
No, it's kind of just allowing the body to balance. So even when I do acupuncture, I don't want people to jump right into, say, a hot or a cold shower because it can create almost like a shock. You don't want
gotcha.
that kind of thing to happen.
And nothing to do with the soaps or anything
No.
going into the pores. So
No.
it's just water shock type thing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you do the cupping now. What would you tell him that he may feel good or negative?
As far as good, he's already showing it.
Yeah.
He's relaxed. A lot of relaxation. He'll probably sleep better tonight. Any side effects, really the biggest one is bruising. And that may be, sometimes it can be a little bit tender, but usually it's not with cupping.
So, with cupping, you can feel the Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I've seen that on some other athlete. Phelps.
Phelps, yeah.
That was a big deal when they took a picture.
Yeah.
Was it on his back?
Yeah, they did it on his back and up here in the shoulder area.
Yeah. Now, because he's a swimmer, they targeted those areas?
Right.
Okay.
And you can use cupping virtually anywhere. They actually use it in facial rejuvenation. So there are little tiny cups that you can use on the face that help draw collagen back into the areas, get rid of wrinkles. They don't leave a bruise.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
We need to have a session. I got a lot of wrinkles. And they don't show Can you imagine you get a cupping procedure on your face?
Oh my.
And it's all black and blue?
Oh, we got to give Jeff one of those.
Do you do cupping on the head? Because I want my hair to grow back.
Believe it or not, some people do. I have never, but I don't know as far as how it's going to help your hair grow back.
It will. Yeah, I don't know either. It'll show a lot of redness on there, which
Right.
will cover up the whiteness on there.
If it works, though, you'll get a lot of clients here.
Yeah, you would.
That's true.
All right, now, here's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
Acupuncture, you want to look for the right one,
Sure.
okay? And, it's almost, it sort of rings true with chiropractors as well. But you don't know who is good or bad if you've never done this before. So it's like walking into the wolf's den and you're going to get bit up and, you're going to find out later. What are some of the things people should be looking for or asking, reading on the internet? What are the flags, the red flags?
First and foremost, make sure it's somebody who's completely licensed for each state. Every state has different regulations as far as licensing. So most of us have to be licensed not only in the state, but then we can also be licensed by the National Certification Organization. For Wisconsin, there's a total of 4 national board exams, and only 2 of them have to be taken and passed to be a licensed acupuncturist in Wisconsin. So you make sure that they're licensed, that they're fully certified in through the state organization, and you can check all of that online.
What about any type of jargon? Do other red flag acupuncturists use? Are there tricks of the trade that they claim, or? Acupuncturists as a whole are dealing with some physical therapists, massage therapists, even chiropractors that are doing weekend courses, and it's called dry needling. Dry needling is acupuncture without the training, and so they just they do
they do a weekend course, and somehow they're getting access to the needles that are only supposed to be supplied to acupuncturists or acupuncture students, and they're using the exact same needles that we use and doing the exact same thing, except they call it dry needling. And
so you go to school for 4 years.
4 years and over 2,000 hours of hands-on training.
And they go for a weekend and start pinning you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a shame.
And there have been several cases of collapsed lungs from this procedure and various other injuries. So it's not something to be taken lightly.
All right. So when those type of acupuncturists, do they claim the same licensing? No.
No, most of them just announce it as dry needling.
Oh, so they claim we do dry needling.
Right, and that's their way of getting around the licensing.
Gotcha. Okay. So we should be looking for that license certification with the state.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
Is there a national licensing, or is it just state called?
There is a national. It's NCCAOM, and don't ask me to tell you what it stands for, but you can have 2 licenses, basically. You have to have one in the state that you're working in, and each state organization handles that differently. Like Illinois, they have to pass 3 of the 4 national board exams. Wisconsin, you only need 2. Every state is different.
Okay.
And places like California and Florida, if I remember correctly, they are actually considered doctors. So you can go into them for anything, and they can treat you just like a doctor would. And I know in Florida that they can actually inject herbal formulas intravenously. So every state is different, but yes, there's a national licensing board. You don't have to be nationally licensed by them, but you have to pass their board exams for your state.
So do they all have different regulations too? So if certain states call it different things, do they run by regs, state regs, or are they all the same across the nation?
Every state's different.
Yeah, that's what I
Ken,
figured.
I have a question.
Sure.
How I can figure out who has the certification from to make acupuncture or who doesn't have? Because I never.
Wait, we gotta interpret what he said. What?
Do you know what I mean?
So
how
do you find a licensed acupuncturist?
Yes.
Every state's different. Again, go to their.
But for me, I never went to have that procedure. Mm-hmm. How I can figure it out as a client? Because you say have a dry needle and have a who go to the school for 4 years,
right,
as you.
First and foremost, if they're a licensed acupuncturist, they should be proud of that because it takes a lot of work. And there should not only be a diploma hanging somewhere in that office, but also certification from the state that they're working in.
Okay.
Do you want to take a break? And let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Lou. What do you want to do? You want to do that? Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Shout out to Route 20 Outhouse, Stephen Ray over there. I think we're going to go make a visit over there and have some
After
bison
the
burger
podcast,
today.
yeah, we're going to do that.
Let's go.
I was there last night.
Who's coming up for the next event that they're having? What's the name?
We're talking to 2 people right now. We can't divulge the names.
Okay.
So I would imagine we'll have that news maybe by tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah. If more information, go to their website for Route 20 Outhouse. You'll be able to see all the new and upcoming events and shows. Especially, I want to go see some stand-up comedy soon over there. And,
one of the things that I want to say about Route 20. We're going to be there Thursday, September 8th. We're inviting people out there. Come hang out with us.
Heckle Jeff.
Yeah, it's going to be broadcasted over their speaker system, so it's not where you have to have a headphone or you can't hear what we're saying, on the stage. I know they also are working with us as far as comping tickets.
Yes.
If you join the Rock, be a member, they give you 2 tickets to any concert that they have at Route 20. And they have national acts, local acts, comedians. Talk to Nikki or Steve over there if you're interested in that. But stop in at the Rock. Join us. And when you join us, you join Route 20 too.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. Also, shout out to Rely Local. Nick over there, Nick Christensen, doing a lot of work for the community.
Yes,
something to look into.
He's bringing us all together.
Yeah, it's one of the best networking platforms in Wisconsin. You have to be a part of it. Also, shout out to Josh Ebert. He did he put our logo up on the wall for the podcast. It looks awesome. Come into the Rock, check it out, take some pictures. Tunnel Vision. Ben's a graphic designer for business logos and apparel. Definitely, if you need some more information on him, come to the Rock, and we'll provide you with that information. Also, for Jits, that's our jiu-jitsu program, Jama. Awesome apparel coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. And we have a big event, October 1st and 2nd. It's going to be with the 9-time world champion, Andre Galvo. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to meet him. I'm a big fan.
Here's a big thing. Come see the Rok Podcast at Combat Corner, too.
Yeah,
that's September 17th.
Yeah, Combat Corner. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's Saturday, September 14th or 17th at West Allis Central off of Lincoln. I want to say it's like 90-something in Lincoln. I'm not sure. But it's off of Lincoln. Come watch some great grappling.
Cheer me on while I get choked out.
Our producer's competing along with a number of our other students here. Juma, our black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, our instructor, he will be coaching them.
Juma.
He'll be coaching them along the way. And for most of these guys, it's their first competition, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think for all of them. For all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal. One of the things that we stress at the Rock here is that we're family. You join here, you're going to find out real quick that we're pretty united, and we concentrate on a brotherhood here with all the jiu-jitsu players, the lifters, the kickboxing, all of that. So we're really proud of that. We want to promote that. We feel it's significant, especially for parents that come with their kids. They start feeling that environment and they feel good about it. So, Kim, before we close, is there anything out there that you want to share with a potential customer? Any deal that you may have for them? Anything that you might want to say to them to bring them at ease and make a decision to try acupuncture?
The best thing I can say as far as easing people's minds is you're not going to know until you try it. It's just like anything else. This medicine is amazing. It's been around for over 3,000 years, and it can pretty much help with just about everything. I have lots of people writing testimonials for me and getting great results. And again, unless you actually try and come in and experience it, you'll probably never know. There are, as far as deals that I've got going on right now you can get $5 off the 30-minute stress buster. And that's less than 10 needles, just a relaxation, very generalized. So $5 off that, plus a free 15-minute consultation to see if there's anything else we need to work on, like pain, low back pain, headaches, insomnia, whatever.
Yeah, I can't stress enough when you did the work on Lou, how that all took place in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't film or we didn't post all of it, did we? The whole procedure?
I think
Yeah,
we,
we did.
Oh, we
Yeah,
did.
you have it a podcast.
Okay. So
page.
he actually could have sat there for 30 minutes with
Right.
the pins in, right?
Right.
So similar to what the cupping was.
Exactly.
Okay, so even for that, that's what's amazing about it is he felt that almost immediately. I would say within 20 seconds,
Yeah, it
you
was quick.
noticed that
quick.
it was gone.
And that tends to be the case with pain, especially things like inflammatory bowel disease, digestive problems, even stress. It may not be that way, and again, every person's going to react differently. It's just like when the doctor gives you an antibiotic. Some people have really bad reactions, others no problems whatsoever.
Right. Well, I want to thank you, Kim, for stopping by, doing all of what you did. I thought it was really, really informative.
Thanks, guys.
Very educational, and one of the things that I like is it was visible. They get to see it being applied,
Yeah.
and they get to see the reaction that, here you are pinning Lou, and he didn't budge. There was no pain. I like what you said the other day, that the needles are the size of a hair follicle.
Right.
And when you think about that, that is super tiny.
It really is.
So, to ease people's minds that have, if you want to say, a phobia of needles, I think that would help. That, that's how small it is, how painless it is. And, you made a good point. You've ran into customers that have had tattoos,
Right.
and yet they're afraid of the acupuncture.
Potential customers, yeah.
Right.
And if you can sit through a tattoo,
Right.
however long that may be, usually it's about an hour, if not longer.
Oh, for a tattoo?
Yeah.
Like sometimes 5 or 6.
Exactly. So if you can withstand being continuously jabbed with a needle, you can handle acupuncture. The most people think of needles like when they get a shot or they
Right,
donate
right.
blood. And the needles that we use, we can actually fit anywhere from 20 to 25 of those into the needle that they would use when they're drawing blood. So they're extremely small, they're extremely flexible, they don't break, and it's just an amazing
Tool.
invention,
It
tool,
is.
whatever you want to call it. So how they figured it out, I couldn't tell you. I don't know how they figured all this out, but it's pretty amazing, and it works. You just have to believe and give it a try.
That's awesome. Well, Rock Nation, I just want to tell you, we're talking to Kim. We're trying to negotiate a deal with Kim to where we can have her on site to help some of our members here and
Let's do
anybody
it.
actually that would walk in. That is not cut in stone, but we are negotiating. Hopefully, we can make it work and have you join the family. And I think it would benefit a lot of people.
It
I
would,
really do.
especially, it's really great for athletes, and it helps them maintain. It helps them stay in condition, and that's why, even Aaron Rodgers uses acupuncture. So
You did not say Aaron.
he's not my favorite either, but
Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? I'm going to ask you.
me?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Who do you like, Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? Come
Neither one.
Good.
on. No, I'm a Brett guy. Come on. Brett's gritty.
My husband will be mad at me, but neither one.
Who does your husband like?
He loves both of them. He's a Packer guy
Yeah.
to the core.
All right.
My guy just retired,
Who's that?
Peyton
Peyton Manning. Oh, okay. I like him too.
You can't go wrong with Peyton.
No, he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I really like him a lot. That's good that he retired. He won, right? Didn't
Yes.
he win the Super Bowl?
Yep.
All right, he went out in style.
Yes, he
Good for
did.
him.
All
right.
Where do we find? How do we get a hold of Kim?
Yes. Give us
So-
your contact info, Kim.
Phone
Thank you,
number
Lou.
is 262-977-8793. And you can actually go to my website and book an appointment right there. You don't even have to contact me, and that's www.threemoonsacupuncture.com.
Is
And
that
it's not
spelled
the
out?
number 3, right?
It's all spelled out, no spaces, no capitals.
Do you have a a Facebook page?
I do. Yep.
Okay. She also has a Facebook page, Three Moons Acupuncture.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and Google Plus.
Say
she's
follow
rolling.
me.
Exactly.
She's rolling. All right.
Follow her, guys.
Three Moons Acupuncture, 262-977-8793. ThreeMoonsAcupuncture.com.
Yep.
And look for her Facebook page. Like it. Like it. Like that page. Actually, you know what? Like our page.
Yeah.
Like Spreaker, our podcast on Spreaker. Become a follower. It's only going to help you become more educated, get to know the community, who's around. We really stress bringing the business people in from our community and providing word for the people in our community. There's deals, there's people here that you don't even know. Rock Nation, until next week, Tuesday, we're going to have Ryan Atkins and Nicole, I believe. They are CrossFit Racine. Just wait for that one.
Oh, there's going to be a lot
you know
of...
what? I'm not a CrossFit guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a CrossFit guy. This will be interesting.
Yeah, there's
Let's
gonna
see
be
if
a
they
lot of
can
devil's
convince us.
advocate on that one.
Yeah, well, I think it'll be interesting, though.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're out of here. Have a great weekend. Have a happy Labor Day holiday, and we will see you Tuesday. Adios.